Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So tonight, let's talk about why Bitcoin will surge once this happens. What is going to happen? What's so important? Well, let's talk about it. And also, let's talk about a very important niche that is definitely going to blow up this cycle. So let's talk about that and some projects that are associated with that niche as well. Let's do it. Welcome, guys. Hey, Bitcoin is still looking pretty good, even though this morning we're a little bit high. Do you guys notice the George effect? Because even my wife talks about it. Whenever I stream like this morning, Bitcoin pumped up to 65,000, and then right afterwards, or 64,000, right after we started dipping, and now it's starting to come up again. See, this is the effect I have on markets. But yeah, we're coming back up to about 64,000 after falling to a low of 62.7 this afternoon. Don't know why, really no reason for it. We actually had a lot of great news today besides Robinhood may be sued by the SEC. I know that put a dampen on the overall market this week, but it's not guaranteed. And there are so many great things happening. It doesn't really matter what Gary does because he's probably going to be out of office soon. Let's talk about all these great things. Okay, number one, Jack Dorsey may be taking a page from Michael Saylor's playbook. He is going to offer $1.5 billion in senior notes. Now, most people think that Jack Dorsey is not going to basically use $1.5 billion to buy Bitcoin. Maybe he does. Maybe he's come to a realization that he's been doing it wrong and Michael Saylor is doing it right and just putting everything into Bitcoin. But right now, most people believe he is not going to do that. They think he's just going to raise money for Block. But we do know this. Jack already stated he's putting 10% of his profits into Bitcoin every month. Okay. No, I take it back. Two things. Going forward, he's going to put 10% of all earnings into Bitcoin. Yes, and every month he's going to be DCAing. So two things. However, those still seems not enough, especially compared to Michael Saylor, who's basically raising billions upon billions upon billions upon billions and using all of it to buy Bitcoin. A big difference there, right? But we'll see. Maybe Jack has converted. Maybe he's going to do something like that. Anyways, that's pretty good news overall. So that's pretty good. Also, what's good is this. Inflows today. We don't have the exact numbers, but we do know the volume today very high with Fidelity, with Grayscale, with BlackRock, with ARK, with Bitwise. Volume exploded today. And something else very positive. It's very hard to notice. But today's the second day where Grayscale actually had inflow. Very little, but nevertheless, inflow, 3.9 million. On Friday, there was 63 million inflow. Today, 3.9. But does this actually confirm that there are no more sellers of Grayscale, only buyers? I don't know. It's still too early to tell. Maybe we flip. But I'm really hoping, I think this week could be absolutely big. If Grayscale stops selling, that alleviates so much selling pressure. I mean, just look at it. Look at the last few weeks. Even though it's tame compared to first few weeks, still, we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars being sold. And now we're turning to the green. That is very, very positive to start the week off, right? Now, as for everything else that's going on, well, there are so many positive things. I can't say enough about Bitcoin, but let's talk about some of the near-term stuff that's happening, okay? This morning I showed a lot of charts. Tonight, let's show more charts. Here's one that shows Bitcoin is utilizing a resistance that have turned into support, and that is pretty darn good. Whenever you see that happen, generally speaking, that is showing strength, and that is showing that Bitcoin is getting ready to walk up. And here's another chart. I got to remove my camera here. This is on a weekly scale, okay? And you can see the stochastic RSI basically at bottom, about to flip. Now, the last time this did this, okay, was back in September when Bitcoin was still below $30,000. Can you see that? I'm just doing that on purpose. But you could see the last time this happened, Bitcoin was below 30,000 and never stopped. And in times before, same kind of pattern. We had one during the COVID crash and then one right before Bitcoin exploded from 10,000 all the way up to $64,000. So we're right there, right there. So even the charts, short term, long term, all show that Bitcoin is getting to go higher. Okay, it will surge. Now, here's another one. If you look at a halving event, right? I've talked a lot. A lot of people have made a lot of analysis about when Bitcoin moves after a halving event. Here's another example. Okay, technically speaking, we're about halfway through the halving event or halfway through the cycle. If you think about that, it's pretty scary. It's pretty scary to think we're halfway through. But think about how far we have come. Okay, we dropped to a low of 15,000 beginning of 2023. And now we're more than 4x higher than that, okay? But the thing is, the most exciting half is what's coming after this. After this brief dip, which you could clearly see, the last two halvings afterwards, we get a little dip. Just slightly. It barely registers because we're looking across years. But if you zoom in, you'll realize they're actually pretty substantial dips. 20+% dips, okay? But on grand scheme of things, still doesn't look like much. But what happens after a dip, that's when things get really crazy, right? And we're right there. We're right there. This is no time to be scared. This is no time to be exiting the market. If you do, well, you're just going to regret it later, okay? So many good things are happening in the space, and Bitcoin will definitely surge once again. Okay, so you just have to be patient. But as for this week, I do think Bitcoin will surge and continue to surge if we see grayscale selling stop. So today's the first day, very small inflow, but still that's a win. Let's see the remaining days of this week, okay? Today, I think could have been better if if SEC didn't serve that Wells notice to Robinhood. If we did not hear about that, I think Bitcoin would have surged a lot more today. But that kind of dampened the mood, okay? But we'll see, because there are more buyers than sellers at this point. Demand is going up, not going down. And there's just so much Bitcoin to go around. So I think this week can be still very, very, very good. So let's see what happens tonight and tomorrow. All right, outside of Bitcoin, what else is going on? Well, let's talk about this one niche that is going to be very, very hot. It has been hot, but it's probably going to get hotter. And here's why. Nvidia. Nvidia is leading away. Everyone knows about Nvidia by now. Used to be just a graphics card company producing graphics card for gamers. Then it kind of moved to miners, and then it went back to gamers, but now it's all about AI. Nvidia is going to have a big earnings once again. Their stock recently dipped and then just came right back up, and they are near all-time high. They are the third largest company by market cap in the world right now. And there is another earnings report that's coming up May 22nd. Just look at that graph. Nvidia added $400 billion in market cap in just 11 days. I really wish I bought some Nvidia stock. I knew it was going to happen. They're just going to come with better and better earnings, and they are unstoppable at this point, okay? But how does that relate to crypto? Obviously, they're leading the AI space, and everyone's super excited about AI and AI companies, okay, which include ChatGPT, OpenAI, and Google's Bard, which I think is now Gemini, and Amazon has their own, and everyone has their own. I mean, they all use Nvidia GPUs. That's the bottom line, which is why Nvidia is so hot, and they can't sell enough GPUs, and their GPUs are the most advanced in the world, right? They are leading the AI space. And in the crypto space, there are a lot of projects in the AI space that are definitely benefiting from the hype, okay? For example, Worldcoin up about 37% this week. Market cap about 1.3 billion. And why is Worldcoin going up? Well, it's the project from Sam Altman. This is a side project in addition to running OpenAI and ChatGPT. This project is very controversial. Very controversial because this project is meant to detect humans from AI, which if you think about it is probably necessary in the future because AI is getting so good, you know, in a next year or two, we won't be able to recognize what's real and what's not. It's getting to that point. If you've seen a lot of these fake AI ads, they're getting so close where you can't even tell the difference anymore, right? So that's the whole point of this project. But why it's controversial is because Sam Altman created this iris scanner orb that he's requiring all humans to scan, which is very intrusive, obviously, right? So that's why it's controversial. But nevertheless, it's doing well because people believe in him. And this project could be going a lot higher. And plus, they're partnering up with PayPal and, of course, OpenAI, which is his other company that he's running. It makes a whole lot of sense. Okay, so Worldcoin, even though I'm not a big fan of it, I think it's going to go a lot higher because of Sam Altman, because of the AI boom and craze. It's not going to stop. But I don't want my eyes to be scanned. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, another one that's in the AI space, but also deep in space is Render. Okay, a lot of people have been supporting Render for a long time. Basically, they are a whole network. Well, they were on Ethereum, now they're on Solana, and they're basically their own chain. Basically, they allow people to share GPUs and earn money, but also others can use a GPU to compute AI workloads, which is pretty darn awesome, right? Now, ever since they moved to Solana and changed their tokenomics, they've been doing very well, and they have been going up and up and up and up. But what's interesting is now they're starting to onboard dApps. They're not just using their chain for GPU rendering. Actually, they're coming out with dApps. For example, there's this dApp that's called Long Dragon. This is going to be a very first project, and this is all about basically everything. Staking and Launchpad, which launches more, right? And that's what they are. So Render's kind of interesting to me because now they're trying to become an L1 and trying to bring dApps aboard. But the main mission, of course, is still GPU sharing and AI processing, right? So pretty good. Another project in this space is Near. Now, Near is a L1, traditionally a L1. I've always labeled them a baby Solana, but now they're no longer babies. They are absolutely huge, okay? From metric standpoint, TVL is at 335 million, daily active addresses at 1.2 million, stablecoin market up 176%. All fantastic numbers. That's why they are climbing CMC at a crazy rate, and they may be in the top 10 in the near future. They are blowing up. If you look at active addresses, yeah, going upwards, right? And here's the thing. They are also in AI because they are coming out with Near Tasks, which is basically an AI marketplace for basically, they say it's a self-service plug-and-play solution, liberating users from constraints, okay, cost management, service options. Basically, it's a marketplace for people to monetize their skills and knowledge, and you could build algos and models and data sets and whatever else You could all put it into the near task marketplace and have others use it and make money from that. Okay, so that's why they're also blowing up, because AI craze, because of that. So all fantastic. And of course, there's another one that I'm not going to talk about today, but a lot of you guys know about Fetch, Singularity, and Ocean. They're going to combine into ASI. Still waiting to see what happens there, right? But they're also in the AI space, which will carry them further upwards, right? All right, guys. Whole lot of AI, whole lot of Bitcoin. Let's do some Q&A. All right. Let's see. I'm scrolling up here. Let's see what I missed. Jeremy Larson, new member. Welcome, Jeremy. Let's see. The grayscale dump today? No. We had an inflow, which is very good. A lot of people also think that Gary Gensler will be out soon. That will also be very good, but I think that's like later this year. Let's see. Iceman Crypto, appreciate that. No time to be on the sidelines. 90K incoming. Man, 80, 90K is going to come faster than people realize. Like right now, it seems like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's going to be stuck at 60 forever. It's never going to go up. Just wait. Just like how when we went from 20-something thousand to 70,000 in basically a few months, we're going to see the same thing happen from our current level to the next levels up. Mark is asking, what about Acura? Honda reliability, luxury ride, good performance. No, I mean, some Acuras are okay, but they're not doing that well. These Acuras can't really compete against, let's say, Lexus. Infiniti is out of the Japanese luxury market. Infiniti is a distant third. And then Acura is somewhere in the middle, and Lexus is way above. I mean, Acura has some nice cars, but they just can't compete with Lexus. Man, no, I don't really care about Knicks. A lot of you guys are Knicks fans. Man, I want to see the Wolves game against Nuggets. I hate the Nuggets. I really don't want them to win, and I want Edwards to put out another show. What are your thoughts on Akash? Deep in play, very similar to Render. They don't have a whole lot of momentum, but I think they have potential because they're in that deep in space. Best swap for BTC into alts for rotation. That's a good question. I don't know much swaps that actually does that. The swaps are also mostly concentrated on alts, not Bitcoin into alts. I actually can't answer that. I don't know. You have to do it on a SEX. Cast and Waste asks, when is your next first class flight? I have no idea. That last one cost a pretty penny. I'm not sure. Well, I'm going to fly business for sure. But first class is like a whole other level above business class. But my next travel will be to Consensus. That'll be the end of this month. So I'm looking forward to that. Never been to Consensus. It's the biggest conference in the U.S. I believe it should be a really good opportunity to learn and network. And plus, the next Karate Combat and IFC fight will be there. And I think it's going to be outrageous because it's going to be in the middle of the conference. What are your thoughts on the current state of Big Red? They're still pushing. I still know that Fran and Chris, you know, and the team, they're still pushing. There's nothing much to say about it. Right now, memes are a little struggling because of the market, but once the market comes back up, everything will go up, and I think Big Red and Kulo both will too. Thoughts on Soul Sex on Sol? People ask me about Soul Sex. I'm not sold on it, okay? If you want to use a sex, go use a sex. To try to make a decentralized sex or DEX that mimics a sex, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sold on it. I just got some money today. Buy tonight or wait. I can't tell you. I can't tell you what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes or the next hour or the next day. But I can tell you what's going to happen over the next 5 years. Bitcoin will be higher. What kind of Ferrari do I have? I have a Ferrari F8. F8. The last non-hybrid V8 Ferrari, I believe. All the new ones are all going to be some kind of hybrid variant. Round-tripped ADA, Michelle says. Now down 60%. Would you trade it? Are you asking me if you should trade ADA because you're still down 60%? I don't know. Sometimes when you do that is when it starts moving. I really don't know. But sometimes you do have to cut your losses and just go with something better. With that said, I like a lot of chains, a lot of tokens better than, or a lot of coins better than ADA at this point. My career background, IT. Was in IT for a long time. DZO, what do you think Sol will be at the end of 2025? Probably like 2,000-3,000. 2,000-3,000. Mbase. Mindbase. No idea what this is. The evolution of Web3 cryptocurrency. It just sounds. Some kind of algorithm that enables creation of mind-based tokens through transaction fees that existing blockchains already generate. Okay. No. That doesn't even make any sense. It's inflating the supply based on fees from other chains. That just sounds wrong. No. Oh no, Alan. I think Solana's going to be at 1,000 by the end of this year. So to do a 2 or 3x by the end of next year, certainly possible. Certainly possible. I don't think a lot of you guys realize how bullish the parabolic phase is. I mean, I think you guys forgot, or you haven't lived through a cycle. I mean, when you go through one of these cycles, you'll know how crazy things can get. I'm going to use SHIB as an example because it always shocks me to look at it as an example. But, you know, look at what happened here, okay? Let's zoom into 2021. For people that don't recall what happened. Do you see that? Okay. SHIB was right here. Let's look at market cap. On 10/1, they were 3 billion. Okay, October 1st, 2021, 3 billion. Then they went up October 27th, in 26 days, less than 1 month. They went from 3 billion to 43 billion. That's more than 10x. And that's after hitting 3 billion already. They were already huge. They're like whiff levels right now. So think about whiff doing a 11x, okay, in 1 month's time. That's what happened to SHIB at the end of the last cycle. And many, many, many projects did this. It wasn't just SHIB. Many projects skyrocketed within that last month. It's not going to be any different this time around. I just don't know if it's going to be October of 2025 or maybe it comes sooner in June of 2025, but it's going to happen. And it's going to blow people away because they're not going to think it's real. But it happens every single cycle. Deputy Dog, I have 100,000 in CRO coin. Bad idea. I can't tell you if that's a bad idea. I just would not do that myself. Ledger Live Exchange, is it worth it versus SEX? Ledger Live is just utilizing a lot of DEXs and DEX aggregators. They don't have their own liquidity. They're just utilizing. They have partnership with a lot of other DEXs out there. So it's great because if you can trade straight from your ledger, right, it's the safest, but you don't have the widest selection, right? Previous cycles enhanced by media and then by stimulus. You don't think the media is going to cover this? Media is going to cover this throughout this year and next year. We're seeing Bitcoin being talked about left and right on CNBC. This cycle is not going to be hindered by government action and recession. It's only going to be propped up by the institutions, right? Which is different. But you could argue institutions have trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. Okay. So, and who knows? If the US really goes into recession, guess what's going to happen? More money printing. So that's going to help too. Any hope of bringing back the game of naming that chart on your Sunday walk? It's a lot of work to do that. I maybe do something else. Another kind of game type, like, you know, I still want to go into game shows stuff or contest kind of stuff. You know, I just don't have time to think about a good idea, but I definitely do want to do more of that in the future. Cybertruck looks so awesome up close. I mean, it's like unlike anything else on the road, but there's still so many disadvantages. So today I was texting a Tesla guy. And he's like, yeah, there's one at a dealership by you. I'm like, okay, can I go look at it and test drive? They're like, no test drives. And then I go over there, and it's not there. So I just wasted my trip. I've seen it before while driving by. I haven't looked at it closely. But I still don't think it's a good idea to get it. It's just going to draw too much attention. You know, it's like as much attention drawing as driving a Ferrari. CSRP, I have no idea what that is. No clue. If I did get a Cybertruck, I would wrap it. But then if you wrap it, you know, then it scratches. You know, right now with the stainless steel, you don't have to worry about dents or scratches or anything. If you wrap it, you do. At least you don't have to worry about dents, but then you can scratch it and stuff. Get it rapid. Give us a review. How about I fundraise? Okay, how about you guys donate $100,000 to me and I'll go get it. And I'll declare it's the car of the people. And I'll do whatever you guys want me to do with it. How about that? Can you talk about your thoughts on Arbitrum? Well, Arbitrum lost a lot of momentum due to base growing, but Arbitrum still has the most TVL, and they do have their own meme coin. Rumors are it's supposed to be supported by Arbitrum. Not sure if that's true, but yeah, so they do have a meme called NOLA, and I think it's community run, community takeover. So we'll see. If Arbitrum can embrace memes like Base did, that could definitely help them. But, you know, they have the most TVL already. Is it true it's the end of the world in 2027? I don't know. I don't know. Been a fan since Litecoin t-shirt days. I don't think I've ever worn a Litecoin t-shirt. I have no idea what you're talking about. Waffles. What, Da Vinci's cat or something? Yeah. Okay. Okay, Chris. I don't know what you want me to say about it. Elfium? Elf.im, 100 million. Keep your dApp running smoothly thanks to our reliable Web3 cloud solution. It's a private virtual machine that's decentralized. I think this is like a Flux competitor. I think this is exactly what it is. Yeah. But it seems like a lot of this stuff is not done. See, GPU support for virtual machines in progress, image support, oracles, a lot, unless these have not been updated. So I think they're in that space. Still a little early, hasn't completed everything they want. Ernest, member for 21 months. The BTC generates a new address every time you send it. Does that count for a new wallet being made on charts? It doesn't generate a new address every time you send it, though. I don't know where you got that from. If you send it from your wallet, you're sending it from your wallet. It's not creating a new wallet. Daniel, I appreciate that. You guys know that car guy whistling Diesel? It's like a young kid, and he's like the anti-Mr. Beast. All he does is buy stuff and especially expensive cars, and then like ruins it and damages it. I really can't stand it when he like completely utterly destroys cars just for no good reason for the views. But that would be a good one for the Cybertruck. I'll run a fundraiser to purchase a Cybertruck with the sole mission of trying to destroy it after I get it. That would be a good one. I bet that would get a lot of views. That would get a ton of views. And then I'll probably be banned from buying a Tesla ever again. I couldn't get myself to watch the FA being burned down because I have one, and I couldn't get myself to watch it, but I watched the other ones, like the Mustang, the Tesla, and all the other ones, and the G-Wagon and everything else that he's ruined. Any word about dog we've had on Sphere? I work next to the Sphere and have yet to see it. I don't know. I don't know when that's going to happen. I know that they had some concert and it was really bad and actually tanked the token price afterwards, but I don't know about that. Ledger creates a new address every time. That I guess maybe it does. I wasn't aware of that. Sageopas, hopefully I said that right. I'm new to the channel, retired from military, subscribed recently to your channel, but I've been watching for a long time. Became a whole coiner. Congrats, and thanks for serving. Getting to be a whole coiner is tough, really tough, especially right now. I bet there's less than 1% of America that has $64,000 in their bank account that they can take out and buy a whole Bitcoin. It's probably less than 1%. It's probably like 0.1% of the population. Some may have it, but they're not going to pull it out to buy a whole Bitcoin. So for anyone to become a whole coiner, especially now, extremely, extremely tough. Extremely tough. So congratulations. If we fund the Cybertruck, will you wrap your face on the whole hood of it? Yes. Sure. I'll put that on there. Drive with my face on the Cybertruck. Costco hot dog made the 4th video on X is... I don't know what that means. All right. I will sell my cock for a Cybertruck. I don't know why. Yeah, people should like buy a gas generator, put it in the truck, and then just charge it while they're driving. Or use it as an emergency at least, right? That would work. All right, guys, I'll let you guys go. Overall, a lot of great things still happening in space with AI, which I covered some projects, and of course with Bitcoin. I'm still hoping for a big week, especially since Grayscale stopped selling. So let's see what happens tomorrow and the rest of this week. Despite some bad news from Robinhood SEC, it could still turn out to be a great, great week. Okay. So, smash it a like, subscribe to the channel, go root for the Wolves, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.